Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Nice to see everyone. Let me just. Uh-oh. Uh, Sister Tiara, just one technical issue. I can't seem to make you co-host. Oh yeah, there we go. That's all set. Okay, so I think you're all set. You're a co-host now. Sorry about that. Bismillah, assalamu alaikum everyone. Nice to see you guys. People are starting to arrive. See some familiar names, some new names. Inshallah, if you are here, maybe while we're waiting for people to arrive, you could just type in the chat where you are joining from. Are you a student? Are you a parent? That sort of thing, so we can start to get a sense of who's with us today. Anyone? I promise you there are people here. Bismillah. Who can type in the chat, inshallah? Um, where is everyone? There's Sister Khadija, mashallah. So where are people joining from? Let's see. Okay, now the chat's coming, mashallah. Ramadan Mubarak. Okay, mashallah, we have Sister Juina, parent from Sacramento. Mashallah, we're going to hear from you later. Sister Zara from Sharon, eighth grader. Mashallah. Amaan is in Kansas. Alhamdulillah. Have a lot of others. Leena, mashallah. Um, nice. Alhamdulillah. Really excited to have everyone here. This is the first time we're doing this. Oh, mashallah, Abdulaziz from Philistine. That's amazing. Subhanallah. Allah accept, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. We're really excited. Maybe I can just sort of inshallah start going, inshallah. All right. Let me just make sure this is recording. Yes, it is. Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا الله يا علي يا عظيم يا حليم أنت ربي وعلمك حسبي فنعم رب ربي ونعم حسب حسبي تنصر من تشاء وأنت العزيز الرحيم. Ya Allah, please put khair and barakah in this gathering, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, all of these people during one of these busy Ramadan weekends, Ya Allah, are taking time out of their schedule to spend time here. We're celebrating these amazing students that we're going to get a chance to meet with today, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, you please put khair and barakah in everyone's Ramadan. You allow them to get the full taste, the sweetness of Iman during this week, Ya Allah. And for all these students, you please guide them to the Sirat al-Mustaqim. You guide them to that path that is going to lead to their success both in Dunya and in Akhirah, Ya Allah. And you give us tawfiq to fulfill the rights of all these people. And you please make this event successful. You make us all generous in our hearts and give towards this cause. Wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillah. Um, okay, so Bismillah. Really, really excited to have you here. Today I decided to do it a little differently. Oftentimes I use a lot of slides and things like this. Today we're really just gonna talk heart to heart and so on. Um, oh, sorry, someone's unmuted. Sorry. Let me just fix that. Okay. Um, so yeah, just speaking heart to heart. So Alhamdulillah, most of you guys are familiar with 5 before college and what we do. We help Muslim teenagers navigate this incredibly tricky high school years on the path towards college. But of course, there's so much more than just helping with college applications. When we're teenagers, we're trying to figure out who we are and what we really want to do with our lives. And Alhamdulillah, what we try to do at 5 Before College and through Find Your Qibla, our core program, is help people ask different questions. Most people come to me as a college counselor and say, Brother Hamzah, will this look good for college? Does this thing look good for college? And fundamentally, that is the wrong question. The question is, sorry, my mom is calling and she's supposed to be here, so I'm gonna have to deal with that in a second. Sorry. The the real question is not does this look good for college, but does this look good for me? Does this look good for the person that I am trying to become in the future? Because if you make decisions from that perspective, from your 30-year-old self, then alhamdulillah things will go extremely well. Sorry. I just need to text my mom because she can't get here. Sorry. The Jannah is underneath the feet of your mother, so I will work on that. Bismillah. Uh and if someone from the team can answer the other question that just came on WhatsApp. Uh um okay. Hopefully that solved the issue. Um Okay, sorry, this one. So at Five Before College, as I said, it's not about preparing for college. It's about preparing for the life that you're trying to be in the future, the life that you're trying to build, the life when all your du'as are answered and you're 30 years old, you're 40 years old, and you're leading your dream life. What does that life look like? Right? But most people, when you ask them that question, they don't have a good answer. They don't know what that thing is. And one of the things we try to help students discover is what we call their red umbrella. Usually I'll have a slide at this point, but you can picture the slide. Picture that there's a slide with about 100 umbrellas on it, and they're all black except for this one red umbrella. And immediately your eye is drawn towards that red umbrella. And so the main message of Find Your Qibla is that you need to go after and figure out what is your red umbrella, what makes you unique. And so today, alhamdulillah, we brought together an incredible array of students. MashaAllah, we have 7 students and 2 parents, and we're going to get a chance to hear their stories and hear why they're here. Because fundamentally, what we're trying to do here at Five Before College is we're trying to uplift the ummah as a whole. We're trying to change things, change the world one teenager at a time. Right? And when I began this company, I made a promise to myself. One of the reasons I didn't do this for the longest time, I used to work in an Islamic school, and I knew that that I had a lot of skills. I was helping kids get into, top schools, Ivies and things like that year after year. And I knew I wanted to help other people. But college counselors or the industry has a reputation of being a way for the rich to get richer, being a way to just support the people who probably were going to be okay no matter what. And one of the most rewarding parts of my work when I worked at an Islamic school was that I was teaching everyone, and I was helping everyone on that path to college. And so there were the children of Uber drivers and convenience store owners and blue collar workers and things like that, alongside the children of dentists and doctors and business people and so on. And it was wonderful, and it was wonderful to be able to support all those people. And I wanted to do the same thing when I started Five Before College. And so I made a vow, or I don't want to say vow because that has like Islamic implications, but I made a promise that we would never turn away a student who really wanted this guidance for financial reasons. And alhamdulillah, we've lived up to that promise. Right? For the last few years, we've never turned away a student. We've always found a way to work with them and give them some level of financial aid that makes participating in our programs work. But unfortunately, unlike Harvard, for example, which has a huge endowment, we are just a small organization. We are funding all these things, through just the operating revenue. And today, I want you to see the type of students that we have here and consider sort of filling that gap. Alhamdulillah, we've given 1 out of every 3 of our students has gotten one of these scholarships, and we want to make these funded scholarships. We want to name the scholarships after some of you guys who are here today. But inshallah, that's sort of the goal. But to kick it off, inshallah, we are going to start with Abdullah, who is one of our students, who is going to be reciting Quran. So, Abdullah, Bismillah, we can spotlight you.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Salam.
Like me start?
Yeah, Bismillah.
All right. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد آتينا لقمان الحكمة أن اشكر لله ومن يشكر فإنما يشكر لنفسه ومن كفر فإن الله غني حميد. وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله إن الشرك لظلم عظيم. ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه حملته أمه وهنا على وهن وفصاله في عامين أن اشكر لي ولوالديك إلي المصير. وإن جاهداك على أن تشرك بما ليس لك به علم فلا تطعهما وصاحبهما في الدنيا معروفا واتبع سبيل من أناب إلي ثم إلي مرجعكم فأنبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. يا بني إنها إن تك مثقال حبة من خردل فتكن في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأت بها الله إن الله لطيف خبير. يا بني أقم الصلاة وأمر بالمعروف وانه عن المنكر واصبر على ما أصابك إن ذلك من عزم الأمور. ولا تصعر خدك للناس ولا تمش في الأرض مرحا إن الله لا يحب كل مختال فخور. واقصد في مشيك واغضض من صوتك إن أنكر الأصوات لصوت الحمير. This is from Surah Luqman, starting from Ayah 12. Indeed, we blessed Luqman with wisdom, saying, Be grateful to Allah, for whoever is grateful, it is only for their own good. And whoever is ungrateful, then surely Allah is self-sufficient. And remember, when Luqman said to his son while advising him, O my dear son, never associate anything with Allah in worship, for associating others with Him is truly the worst of all wrongs. And we have commanded people to honor their parents. Their mothers bored them through hardship upon hardship, and their weaning takes 2 years. So be grateful to me and your parents. To me is the final return. But if they pressure you to associate with me with what you have no knowledge of, do not obey them. Still keep their company in this world cautiously, and follow the way of those who turn to me in devotion. Then to me you will all return, and then I will inform you of what you used to do. Luqman added, O my dear son, even if a deed were the weight of a mustard seed, be it hidden in a rock or in the heavens or the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Surely Allah is most subtle, all aware. O my dear son, establish prayer, encourage what is good, and forbid what is evil, and endure patiently whatever befalls you. Surely this is a resolve to aspire to. And do not turn your nose up to people, nor walk pridefully upon the earth. Surely Allah does not like whoever is arrogant and boastful. Be moderate in your pace, and lower your voice, for the ugliest of all voices is certainly the braying of donkeys. Sadaqallahu Azim.
MashaAllah, this is a day of like tech snafu, so I apologize for that. We're having a little issue where people are trying to get in are getting redirected to uh like to the fundraising page instead of the sign-in page for Zoom. So I'm just trying to solve that behind the scenes while simultaneously running the webinar, which is never fun. But I think I got it. So if you guys have anyone in that situation, I'm gonna put this in the chat. This is the actual straight Zoom link for this event. And let me do this. Uh so I've solved that. Sorry, Abdullah, we're gonna get right back with you in 1 second, but this is sort of mission critical. Inshallah, we're usually more on the ball here at 5 before college, but always have issues. And I'm glad that um, let's see. Uh, just send this. Okay. And okay, let's get back into it. So, Abdullah, are you still here? Oh, we lost you. Abdullah, can we re-promote Abdullah? Inshallah. Abdullah. Promote to panelist. Um, so sorry, Abdullah. You're back. Alhamdulillah. Let me spotlight you. So we can be side by side. Okay. So, you are the first student showcase that we wanted to have today. And so, alhamdulillah, mashallah, as we just experienced, you're a hafiz of Quran. But you're also, like, I remember when we first met you, it was at an event in Attleboro, and we did this thing where you had to summarize yourself by two word summary. And we had a contest that ChatGPT was the arbiter of, and you actually won. Do you remember what your 2 words were?
I believe I do. I believe it was medieval diplomat out of
Medieval diplomat.
yeah.
Wow. And what does that mean? Where does that come from?
It comes from medieval, my love for history and Islamic, Middle Eastern history, Islamic history and culture, and diplomacy. I love debate, public speaking, and um, giving dawah. So it converges two of my passions and interests into one.
MashaAllah. That's great. And then tell us a little bit more about your like find your qibla experience. What was it like? You were in the Ramadan cohort from last year, and ultimately, like what did you discover about yourself, and what have you done so far with that knowledge?
So yeah, before I joined FIQ, I had a whole lot of interests and ideas, um, but they just stayed like that. They were mere ideas, mere what ifs. But when I joined FIQ, I was able to transform those what ifs into actual actions and efforts, and eventually into results. So I learned how to transform my passions into tangible results that I love to do. So I had my passion projects as Sheikh Tub, which I think we'll maybe talk about later. And I've able to, alhamdulillah, successfully create 2 passion projects that are still active to this day, and using the knowledge that I got from FIQ.
MashaAllah. That's amazing. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so Sheikh Up, what's a cool name? What is that one all about?
So it comes from the word shaked up. So as if you were shaked up after learning a new truth. You were shook up.
Hmm.
It's my passion project. It's a YouTube channel that talks about its aim is to post comedic skits that shatter lies and propaganda about Islamic issues globally. And alhamdulillah, it's been going for almost a year. Uh, yeah.
Nice. And you said there's another one as well. Like you didn't just stick to one passion. But you've done the other. But we can definitely share that link. So you're sort of using you're using humor and skits and like cool video editing how long does it take you to make one of your videos usually?
On a normal basis, it should take about a month, except that in the past couple months, I've been a little occupied with my other passion project,
Hmm.
which is called Masjid Guard. It's an app that aims to make the masjid system for volunteering and event wise a lot more smoother. And I'm doing it. I co-own it with someone else from FIQ and Brother Hamzah's son, and we've been working on it for about 6 months.
Mashallah. And you're working with Brother Saddam there and learning the world of vibe coding and so on?
Right.
Alhamdulillah. So if you could sort of like obviously we have a group of people here, some of whom don't know that much about our program. What is it if you could sort of sum up like the benefits of Five Before College and Find Your Qibla in just a few words, what would that be?
Um, it would have to be I I joined FIQ not knowing what my college path would look like. So something that really helped me that it's going to help me stand out, alhamdulillah, is inshallah, is my love for my passions and the projects I've transferred my passions into. And there's honestly so much. I know I needed guidance on my what my college path would look like, and as it turns out, a lot of the questions I had, the coaches really, you guys gave me a really good insight onto, and a lot of those worries turned out just to be, they were fake worries. I didn't need to worry so much about those.
Yeah.
So yeah.
MashaAllah. So Hafiz, historian, budding YouTube star, mashallah, and soon now junior, trying to starting to get ready for this actual college process. So Jazakallah khair. Great to see you, Abdullah.
Yeah.
And inshallah we'll keep on going. Barakallah feek. Allah accept and use you inshallah for khair, inshallah. So alhamdulillah. So my cat has now come. This has been, mashallah, a very exciting start to this webinar. So I apologize. You and if nothing else, you can know that we are real people. So with real people problems. So here is Suli visiting. Um, so at this point, like, Hamda, it's Ramadan, and I know that people have been to a lot of fundraisers, and a lot of times, when people hear that kind of word, they sort of run the other way. But like, Alhamdulillah, it's this ability to support different causes is such a blessing. The sadaqah is such a blessing. I've learned so much from watching my own parents. My mom, who I had struggled to get in and identified a big issue. She is now here, and we might get a chance to hear from her later. But she and my stepfather, Larry, they taught me so much about the joy of giving and the importance of giving and how much that should be a part of people's lives. And it's just blessing. It's such a blessing to have a chance here to give to something that is, you know, just a cause that is going to actually change the future of the world, right? That's why I love what I do. What profession could I possibly have where I could have more of an impact on the world than working with the young people who are going to be inheriting this world? And unfortunately, the world that they're inheriting is not in great shape right now. They need a lot of work. It needs a lot of work. And this is the time of Ramadan when these kids, mashallah, like Abdullah and so many others, they blow me away with their sincerity, with their ikhlas and so on. And they've taught me so much. I think it's just such a privilege to be here with them and so on. So I want to bring on our next student in a moment. This is going to be Leena, inshallah. So inshallah, if we can get Leena on, that would be great. Alhamdulillah, I've had the pleasure of uh, uh, knowing Leena for quite some time. She was one of our earlier ones. Let me just here. Okay. There you are, Leena. Are you? There you are, mashallah. Sorry,
Assalamualaikum.
now my I can't see it because of my cat. There we go. Um, so Alhamdulillah, Leena, nice to see you. Where are you joining us today from?
Good to see you too. I'm joining from California.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Which part of California?
It's Cerritos. It's near Orange County, LA area.
Nice, nice, mashallah. And what grade are you in now?
I'm currently in 10th grade. I'm a sophomore in high school.
Alhamdulillah, mashallah. And so, when did you join FYQ? What was which cohort were you a part of?
hmm So I think I joined FYQ the summer before ninth grade.
Hmm.
Yeah. And that was when I really started having a passion for creating connections for elderly and teens. And FYQ helped me to change that into a project.
Yeah, mashallah. Yeah, so we can definitely talk about that. So you're like the five before college, like poster child, right? You came in right after eighth grade, right? The idea of five before college is that we work with students in the 5 years before college, the 5 years leading up to college. And Alhamdulillah, you came in at that time. Where did that passion for the elderly come? Like that wasn't something that necessarily you discovered during Find Your Qibla. You sort of came in already, already having some level of passion. Where does that passion come from?
Yeah. So I think the passion really rooted from my grandmother. So when we were younger, we used to just visit her. But then when it came to California, we moved in with her, and it really changed like my perception of elderly. And I realized like how much advice and wisdom they have to offer. So I decided, so I wanted to create a program for generations to connect because I realized how much we're separate nowadays and like we don't really connect anymore. So that was my original idea, and then I built it through the FYQ.
Mashallah, mashallah. Yeah, so your project has undergone quite a few different sort of twists and turns. So do you remember like at the end of every FYQ session we have a celebration call? Do you remember what your project was called at that time?
Yeah, I think it was called like the elderly in I'm not sure the exact name, but it was like elderly interviewing
I
podcast.
think Elder Wisdom Project, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Elder Wisdom Project, and it sounded like it was going to be sort of a podcast where you would go. You were already volunteering at Olive, is that right?
Yeah, I was.
And you would sort of interview the elderly and sort of get their life story, sort of like a Humans of New York, but but interviewing older people and having them share their life story and so on. How
Mhm.
did that evolve as you tried to bring it to life?
Yeah. So, when I started it, it was just like where I wanted to interview older adults and like learn from them and share their advice to like the world. But as I worked on it, I realized that most of our world is already digital and we're always maybe like on our phones or social media. So what felt more powerful was like creating a more real in-person connection where teens and seniors could actually like sit, talk, and like build stronger relationships in person. So that's how my idea grew into Golden Connections, which is a club I created at my high school, which focuses on bringing generations together and sharing their like stories. And that even went further after that and went into receiving grants from MIT Age Lab and where we could create more thoughtful intergenerational projects. And yeah.
So you got a grant from MIT, mashallah. And you did the Pen Pal program, the Lunch and Learn roundtables. Like it
Mhm.
sounds like you've done so many other things. And then I heard recently there was something even bigger, like something more at the national level.
Yeah, so in April, inshallah, I'll be presenting at a national conference in Atlanta on aging.
MashaAllah. So, so, so in other words, if I'm hearing correctly, like back in eighth grade, you found your qibla, so to speak, as a geriatrician or working with elderly, and now you have gained sort of, mashallah, grants from MIT, national recognition, speaking at conferences because you were following your qibla and your heart. Is
Yeah,
that fair to say?
yeah,
MashaAllah. You're such an inspiration to all of us. I know you have an Instagram, which I hope we can share with everyone. But yeah, like being around people like you have found something, and I think what you're doing is so important. This connection between this current generation and the elders is so critical. And I think like all the power to you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to put khair and barakah in all that you do, inshallah. So jazakallah khair, Leena, and we'll see you soon. Alhamdulillah.
Thank
So one of the other blessings of five before college is sorry. Bismillah. One of the other blessings of Five Before College is getting a chance to work with an amazing set of colleagues. And so the next thing I want to do is bring up one of my colleagues, Sister Morjane. So inshallah we can get her onto the panel, inshallah. So Sister Morjane was one of she was the very first coach that we hired other than myself. Right? When we started, it was a one-man show. I was doing absolutely everything. And alhamdulillah, once it gained some traction, I needed to get a little bit more sanity, and we did a big nationwide search. And Sister Morjane was the one who came out on top, mashallah. And it's been such a blessing getting a chance to work with a colleague like her. Really think she's one of the best coaches in the world, and she gets so much out of these kids, so much energy. So, Sister Morjane.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Jazakumullah khairan, Brother Hamzah, for that introduction. So subhanallah, it has been a major honor to be part of the Five Before College team. It is a beautiful privilege working with Muslim brothers and sisters towards this common goal and mission of really growing a strong, confident future generation of Muslim leaders. A little background on me. I'm born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, raised in Shrewsbury, Mass. Definitely have that in common with Brother Hamzah being in the Massachusetts state area. And I went to college at UMass Amherst, and I studied biochemistry and molecular biology. As well, I did a dual degree with psychological neuroscience. So, I graduated and worked in the biochemistry field as a biochemist. I worked with companies like Moderna. I also worked at UMass Medical School in the neurobiology department until I had somewhat of not a change of heart, but definitely a change of path. Where my heart guided me to education, where really this is where my heart blossoms, and I love working with students day in and day out. So I've been an educator for the past 4 or 5 years now. And I work remotely with Brother Hamzah, specifically not just with any students like I was in the public sector, but also with Muslim students, Muslim high school students like the ones that we see here. So, mashallah, tabarakallah, without further ado, I think I really want to put some spotlights on them because they are, my truest joys. Like Brother Hamzah said, they are really fulfilling my purpose in cultivating the potential of these youth, mashallah, and they have immense potential, each and every one of them. These are just two of the many students I coach, and mashallah, tabarakallah, I'll be asking them a variety of questions for them to really get to show and share their beautiful personalities and accomplishments that they've achieved thus far. So Bismillah, let's first get you, Tahiya, and then Hana, to kind of share about yourselves, a brief introduction.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tahiya Parker, and I'm joining from Massachusetts, and I'm in 11th grade, so my junior year.
MashaAllah.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hana. I live in Windham, New Hampshire. I'm a senior in high school, and I've been doing FYQ since I think also like eighth or ninth grade.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So, subhanAllah, like Hannah had said, like she had joined FYQ for some time now. Tahiya, mashallah, has been with us for about over a year now. Before joining the program itself, what were some challenges that you were facing, or that you were struggling with the most, and what made you join?
So I'd like to start on this one. So I had some challenges throughout school where I had some trouble navigating like my interests, and specifically when I did find out what my interests were, what to do with them and how to like kind of get like my voice out there, especially because the school that I go to in New Hampshire is a very small, very like non-diverse school. And so I kind of felt like there was nothing to do to really like get my perspective out there and like kind of advocate for myself and my beliefs. But alhamdulillah, Sister Morjane, Brother Hamzah have helped me a lot with kind of like learning how to do that in a efficient way and like get my perspective more out there.
As for me, I feel like I knew what I was passionate about vaguely, but I guess I didn't know like what, again, like Hannah said, like what I wanted to do with it. And I guess I was just very lost, especially kind of going into my sophomore year, my junior year, where it's like, oh, things are getting serious. I kind of need to like lock in for college for like stuff that is more important now. So I guess, yes, Sister Morjan and Brother Hamza have like really, really helped me kind of like narrow things down and keep me focused and in like terms of getting everything done.
SubhanAllah, beautiful. One of the things that I really see as a coach is that our students don't necessarily lack any talent or potential. It's really just a matter of getting to polish the gems that they already are. And mashallah, tabarakallah, giving them that clarity is one of the most, powerful and most impactful things, even for me as a coach. And so, coming back with you folks, what part of the coaching program was there a moment that it really clicked for you? Like, where did the mentorship or the coaching really help you grow into those strengths that you've sort of shared?
Can I start on this one?
I
Yes,
feel like
please,
for
Hannah, take it
me,
away.
Or no, go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Hannah. Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, Sister Morjan, I feel like you really helped me like realize like my potential more. Like I don't know if you remember, but at the way beginning of my college process, and we were going like through the college list and like which ones I was gonna apply to, and I was choosing, of course, a bunch of safeties as one does. But when I was going into like my targets and like my reaches, I was kind of being stingy with myself because I was like, there's no way I could get into these like crazy schools. And I haven't gotten most of my decisions yet, but one school that I was just like completely like blocked off, I was like, I'm not going to apply to this school. There's no way I'm gonna get in, was Northeastern. And subhanAllah, you like pushed me to like submit the application at the deadline when I was about to just like ditch it. Alhamdulillah, I got the decision back like a few weeks ago and I surprisingly got it. Well, not surprisingly because you encouraged me, but I think that moment just helped me realize that first of all, if you don't try, like there's no way that you would know your true potential, and second of all, you are much more capable than you think you are, especially in this day and age when people tell you have to like cure cancer to get into like a top school, and you really don't. You just have to be genuine and you just have to like be yourself, and that's what really sticks out in the college application, I found.
MashaAllah. Tahiyya.
For me, I mean, I'm not really that far yet, but inshallah soon. But I guess for me, the one-on-ones, I feel like getting that personalized help and support really almost like whenever I need it or whenever I feel like I need it, that's been really helpful because I feel like just working one-on-one with Sister Morjan, who I work mostly with, I feel like it's just been really helpful. I feel like I can talk to her about anything, and she's really helpful. She keeps me on track. and I find that I'm falling behind on stuff less and less. So I guess, yeah, keeping things on track and being able to get personalized support, I feel like that's really helped me a lot.
MashaAllah. No, both. Yeah, Hannah, like you were talking about Northeastern, MashaAllah, we came up with a real big list, and really I am so immensely proud of the story we've curated with you, Hannah. MashaAllah, she's gotten into mo like every almost every single one of our schools that we've applied to. And there are many more that we're waiting to hear back from. And mashallah, that like Tahiya was saying, one of the most beautiful experiences is to be able to meet with students every single day. I as a coach feel like have such a close bond with many of them, with all of them. I cannot think of the day I'm going to lose my seniors, which includes Hannah. I'm really going to miss that. I'm so glad to hear we still have another year together. So Alhamdulillah, I'm very much looking forward to that. Final thing. What project or achievement are you most proud of? And what skills and confidence did you gain from it? And Hannah,
So
go ahead, you take this away. We'll start there.
So I don't, there's not one like single concrete like organized project per se that I've like dedicated time to. It was more just like a series of like events that have like built me up to be the person that I've been today. And like I think that's also important to note is like not I don't feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like everybody has to have like a single initiative to like really help them blossom. Like for me, it was just like the series of events that I'm about to like go into. And so for me, it was again, I go to this like really like school in the middle of nowhere that has like basically almost no Muslims. I'm like the only hijabi in my school. And so if you had asked me freshman year, like if you had told me the things that I'm doing today and how I like speak up and how I like talk about my faith and like my beliefs and like advocate, if you told me that in freshman year, I would have looked at you like you were crazy or something. But so something that FYQ has helped me is really just like get my voice out there. And so the little like events that I'm like referencing is especially like on Gaza, like Palestine, Sudan, Congo, all of these like very prominent issues. People in school don't like to talk about them. Teachers, whenever they like talk about it in like my history or government classes, they walk around eggshells. And so I've been meeting with my teachers after school, talking with them during lunch breaks, making conversations in class about these issues. And one thing that's really meaningful that has come from this is I've had a lot of like students like text me after school or like come up to me after classes and be like, wow, like this really opened my perspective. I never knew about this issue. I never thought of it this way. And so that's something that I really think has helped me like realize the impact that I could have on people. And that's what kind of like fueled my passion for law and advocacy in the future, inshallah.
Tahia, go ahead.
As for me, I feel like I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've secured, alhamdulillah, one shadowing position last year and then inshallah two internships for this summer. And I feel like I've been more confident in self-studying for a lot of my more challenging courses that I am taking this year and also inshallah that I'm taking next year so that my schedule is more balanced. And as for my project, I have been working on a project and I'm continuing working on a project called High School Unfiltered. I will drop the Instagram handle below, inshallah, in a second. And it's basically where I go around and I interview students, teachers, anyone that I find, just like wherever I am, about experiences in high school specifically that they still cherish to this day. And I feel like it's just something really important to me because I feel like, I mean, I go to Sharon High School. I feel like it is challenging, but I also feel that it can get to a point where I feel like a lot of my friends, even and like just students, can feel really bogged down and just kind of forget who they are as people and what they care about, who they are as a person. And I feel like just having these conversations, listening to their stories, I feel like it really opens my mind to different perspectives. And also, it gives them a chance to kind of reflect on these memories or these moments that might be really significant to them. So I really do enjoy doing that as well.
A little question there. Where are those internships located?
I have one internship, inshallah, in Harvard, and then another internship at Brown.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. So, coming back to what also Hannah was saying, as a coach, I think that is the most powerful, the powerful point that she had shared. It's this quiet, consistent progress, and also Tahiya had mentioned it, of being able to meet with students consistently, to grow those skills and cultivate that story that, Hannah has now applied to college with, and really embolden their voices in the fields that they feel most passionate about. So, mashallah, tabarakallah, it's about nurturing their interests and nurturing their passions over a course of multiple years that brings them to have, mashallah, tabarakallah, this success and be proactive about their futures. So, jazakumullah khairan, Hannah and Tahiya, for sharing just bits and parts of your success. There's so much more. And I'm enormously proud of each and every one of you. And jazakallah khairan for coming on.
Shout out to Sister Morjane, Brother Hamzah, and everybody else who's helped us with this.
Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah, amazing to see you both. It's so great to hear your stories and so inspiring, MashaAllah. Khair, inshallah. So, this is what I wanted to do now was share my screen. So, give me 1 second. Share the screen. So this is the actual the fundraiser itself. And so mashallah, you can see that we have already gotten to $2,626. And alhamdulillah, the way that's happened is that the very first person I told about this fundraiser was, of course, my mom. Because as I said, Jannah's underneath the feet of your mother. So I called her not to ask her for anything, but just to tell her, hey, we're doing this. I'm sort of nervous. I've never done this before. It's brand new territory for me. And so unprompted, she said, well, I'll put up $1,000 if people can match that. And so I decided when I sent the email out announcing this, just I buried it down in the PS. I said, PS, hey, my mom did this. How cool would it be if we already unlocked her match before the event even started? And alhamdulillah, we were very fortunate to get a bunch of donations. This is event mode, so you can see the very first donation that came in. It's way down here. Was $10 from Sumi, from my daughter. When I came back and I told her that story, that my mom had given this money, then she sort of went. She has a little green light card, which she usually uses go to Dunkin' and other things like that. She immediately went on and she became our first donor. So I was really happy about that. Chip off her grandmother's little block. So my mom is actually here today. So I was hoping that she could be on with us. So I think she is there as a panelist. Mom, could you turn your camera on and unmute? There she is.
I hope
There is my mom. How are you?
I am fine, and sitting beside me is your stepfather, Larry.
Oh, yes, I
Um,
see him there now. Okay. Great
but
to have you here as well.
I'm very pleased to have given a challenge, and I just hope it's going to grow into something huge. I taught for over 35 years, both in schools and, well, in a high school, and then also I taught in college actually before that. And I really believe in education. I believe in charitable giving. And I believe in what my son and Norjine and others are doing in terms of coaching students and the Passion Project. And I'm just very excited about this whole program. So I hope other people will join with me and make this be a whole lot more than than just $2,626. I did send you a check today, so we will see. I mean, I did it through the link.
No, this your donation is included here. Yeah,
Okay. All
it
right.
is.
It's
It
already
is
there.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's here.
All right.
Um,
But
so
thank you.
Mom, you taught, obviously you taught at the Windsor School, one of the top private schools, all girls school in Boston for many years. But then you also volunteered at Beacon Academy, I think is that what it's
Right.
called?
Right.
What was it reminds me a little bit of what I was talking about before, where a lot of people see something like college counseling as a luxury, and as is private school, of course. But then you sort of balance that out with your work at Beacon. Could you just talk a little bit about that and why you did that? And
Well,
while we're talking, by the way, let me go back to event mode. It would be great if we could start to see this number go up. I think it just did. So we just got $100 in. So I'll let my mom keep talking, and hopefully the spirit of giving will come to people, inshallah. And Khadija can keep dropping the link in the chat if she hasn't already. But yes, go ahead, Mom.
well, Beacon Academy is a program that is for ninth graders, I think. And it was run when I was doing it, it was run out of Beth Israel uh, synagogue, actually, and or at least in some part of it. It now it's located elsewhere in Boston where it has its own building. But it was for students who were in schools around Boston who they were not fulfilling their potential, but they also didn't have the money to be able to go to schools where they were going to get a lot more attention. And what Beacon Academy really is a kind of a boot camp. You go through a summer program, which I was not involved with, but you go through a summer program which is very, very intense. And then if you make it through that summer program, then Beacon Academy is what you do. And it is a wonderful, wonderful program. I would go in and I did creative writing with them, which is something that I used to love teaching at Windsor. And that was really fun. And the nice thing for me was that I could leave and go up to Maine and not have to be there certain periods of time. But it was keeping me in touch with students. And what I do now is more adult education because I'm involved with something called Colloquy Down East here in Maine, where I live. And that is for discussions that are really adult people who and I've done books. I always do books. And but at any rate, it's literature that I do, but there are other pieces of it that are more based on history or based on psychology or based on cars and various different things. At any rate, I facilitate conversations about the books that I care about. So education to me is an ongoing thing, even though I get older and older and older. I still, next year, I've actually put forward, you don't even know this, I've put forward two different colloquies. I just finished one on Jane Eyre, so next year I'm going to do one on Wuthering Heights. My husband's telling me to stop talking, but the other one is going to be, It Can't Happen Here by Sinclair Lewis, and also with George Orwell's Politics in the English Language, both of which are really dealing with back in 1935 and 1945. They almost are as if they've been written for the situation of today. So anyway, those are for next year though.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I think what you're doing is wonderful. I just hope people give and give because it's so important that kids be able to support, I guess,
Mhm.
kids are able to participate in a program like yours. And I'm
Yeah.
very impressed by the ones that have spoken so far. I'm impressed by the ones that I've seen in your sort of Shark Tank things in the past. I'm very impressed.
Yep. Thank you so much. So yeah, the link for the fundraiser is there. Inshallah, we hope that people will keep giving. Hamzah, we've gotten some gifts just while you were talking, and the cool thing is I know a lot of people choose to be anonymous, but it's also possible to leave little messages, which are always exciting and wonderful to read. So inshallah, we're going to check back in on this a little bit later, but we'll get back into the regularly scheduled programming, inshallah. So let me stop sharing this. And gonna go with, oh, actually, I do have to share. Sorry. Share with the sound and the screen and video.
But what if the feed you scroll through doesn't always respect your values? That's where
All right, so sorry, I should have given you a little prep for this. So as my mom just sort of referenced, we had sort of a Muslim Shark Tank type contest back in the beginning of September, where we gave fairly big prizes by these types of standards. I think top prize was like $2,000 or $2,500 or something. But to Muslim teenage entrepreneurs, people who have amazing passion projects, and in order to join the contest, you had to submit a video. And so, and the video was explaining what your project was. So we sort of spliced together two videos. One is from Amaan, who is going to be one of our next speakers, who created this amazing app that you're about to learn about. And the second one is from Sumi, who's my daughter, who is you're about to see as well. So that's the context, and let me just play this short video, inshallah.
But what if the feed you scroll through doesn't always respect your values? That's where my project, Censor, comes in.
My passion project is a YouTube vlogging channel called Sumi Tyler.
Censor is a special app that lets you use Instagram and other platforms, but with powerful filters that block anything inappropriate or haram before you even see it. This project reflects my qibla, my true direction and purpose, to make technology serve our values, not the other way around. I want to help build a digital world where people feel empowered, respected, and protected. I see Censor expanding to include more platforms, smart filtering, and even community-driven features so users can shape what they see together. Hopefully, Censor will help parents protect their kids, people of faith feel safer online, and anyone who wants a cleaner, more positive social media experience.
I launched my channel because for as long as I can remember, I have been passionate about making videos. I love videotaping my daily life. I think it is so much fun, and I really wanted to share my life with the world. There are so many creators that show what impact their faith has on their life, but I really don't see any creators who show what it's like to be a Muslim in high school today. I really want my channel to show that Muslim teens are just as cool, funny, creative, and normal as everyone else, while showing that their faith is also a source of strength. My goal is to make videos that people can connect with, whether they're Muslim or not, and to give young Muslim girls a creator that they can see themselves in. And I also really want to be the first Muslim creator at VidCon, which is a YouTube creator event that happens every single year in California, where creators can meet each other and also do panels. Inshallah, I really hope that I get there eventually.
Alhamdulillah. So you can see types of people that I'm lucky to have around. So next up, I wanted to bring on Sister Asumini. So you got to meet Sister Morjane earlier, mashallah, one of our amazing coaches. Sister Asumini was sort of the second coach we brought on, but she also came on even before that in more of a sort of support audit type role. Sister Asmini has a very decorated career. She can maybe tell us about of working at top companies and so on, and has a very strong background. And she really has helped us professionalize everything that we do here at 5 College, in addition to being just an amazing coach. So I will let you take it away, Sister Asmini.
Thank you, Brother Hamzah, for the warm introduction. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So I'm Sister Asumini, and I'm a coach here alongside Sister Morjane. And mashallah, I am a certified career coach as well as a youth and parenting coach. And my background is that I actually started in engineering. And so I always tell the students that I found my Qibla sort of later in life. Started off as an engineer. I went to Carnegie Mellon for my bachelor's and Stanford University for my master's. And then I just found that in my community work, I loved helping youth. And so I found that later in life, I worked 20 plus years in corporate, from consulting to engineering companies to different industries. And I just love the work with youth, with just impacting our young people and shaping for them to find their purpose sooner in life than I did, for example, and stay connected to their deen and to know that they can be authentically who they are in any space in their career, mashallah. And so happy to be here and start talking to the students that I coached. Oh, Brother Hamzah, you're on mute.
Sister Asumini is also a published author. She has a wonderful
Yes.
book, as she mentioned. She's a certified parenting coach called Lead with Love. And alhamdulillah, we've recently worked out a partnership with her. She also has her own coaching company called Kasule and Balia, which is really to help Muslim parents who are struggling, maybe connecting with their children. A lot of times there are some difficulties between immigrant parents and American-born kids, and all sorts of other things that from her enormous wealth of experience. So, if there are any parents out here who are interested in that sort of thing, please, Sister Asumi is sort of like the expert in that space. So, alhamdulillah. But I want to now bring up Amaan and Wania, who are two students that Sister Asumini has coached, and let her interview them to learn a little bit more about these amazing kids we have. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Bismillah. And Amaan is coming, I guess, too.
Yep,
There we go.
there he is.
Bismillah. All right. Nice to see you both, Amaan and Wania. Alhamdulillah. And I would love for both of you to just introduce yourselves, tell us, the grade, what school, and all of just any intro about yourself, inshallah. We could start with Wania.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Wania, and I am a homeschooled sophomore from Oklahoma.
MashaAllah. And Amaan?
Assalamu alaikum. I am Amaan and I'm 15. I go to Olathe East. It's a public school in Kansas.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Nice to see you both on this platform. And I just want to start by asking both of you, before joining the program, would love to hear what were some of the biggest challenges you both were facing, thinking about the future as you were inspired to join Find Your Qibla. And we can go to Wania.
Yeah, so before joining, I felt really overwhelmed just thinking about my future. And as a homeschooler, the college application process just felt so daunting just thinking about it. And the number of possible career choices out there, it just it just made it so hard to know where to begin. And so I didn't know who to turn to. I was lacking that guidance, and that's where 504 College came in. And ever since then, it's been so incredibly reassuring to know that I'm not navigating these decisions on my own now. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Go ahead, Iman.
And for me, I think I had a lot of worry and uncertainty in the future. And it just wasn't nice for me to think about, what class I'm going to take junior year, because that's going to figure out, what colleges and what jobs. But I think with Find Your Qibla, my future has not become something that's uncertain. It's definitely a lot clearer.
Mashallah, mashallah. Both of you touched on the same themes of uncertainty and, nervousness, which a lot of our students and even adults face, with in life. And so, Wania, just going back to, I remember when we first coached together, and there was a lot of overthinking, a lot of perfectionism, and just nervousness to act, right? But I've been so amazed at your journey, mashallah, and I would love for you to share just how what mindset or what breakthrough you had throughout the program, and what achievement you have had since Find Your Qibla, and things that you want to share with the shift that you made in the program.
Yeah, so the one lesson that really stuck with me was that not knowing your exact direction is okay. And as a perfectionist, did feel like I had to figure everything out before I started. But FYQ taught me to, it's okay. Like failure is part of the process. And that led me to start a Substack, which was a Muslim anthology of imagined letters, which was produced out of my love for writing, Islamic history, and advocating for Islam. And although that initial call for submissions didn't go as planned, and I also ended up briefly working with a publisher, I realized that, I genuinely just enjoyed the process itself. And that eventually led me to co-found and produce a youth newsletter at my masjid, which has become my essential project in the space where I've been working in, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And can you just talk a little bit more about the newsletter? Like because you shared it with both Brother Hamza and I, the newsletter, and it's impacting young people and it's connected to the deen. Just to share a little bit about the scale and like what the purpose of the newsletter is, mashallah.
Yeah, so the newsletter was, I think, produced out of that lack of seeing that lack of um, I guess engagement. I mean, it was a means for the youth to engage in our community, and especially seeing that lack of, that love of writing and reading isn't there anymore. And so we wanted to bring that back. And so now that's become an outlet for the youth in our community to, write, express themselves, and at the same time stay connected to the deen. So alhamdulillah, we've had quite, we're just two editions in, but the latest one, we've had a lot more engagement from the youth, and I'm hoping that this becomes a sustainable thing in our community, inshallah.
I just posted
Inshallah,
it in the chat for everyone as well, the
inshallah.
equivalent to the
Yes.
second edition.
Mashallah. And just hearing about the journey and actually witnessing it, Wania going from huge overthinker to I don't know, Sister Asamini, if I can act now to like I'm acting. I remember that one session when you said, I'm going to take messy action. I mean, what's the worst that could happen if I take action? And I was like, subhanAllah, like you're right. And so you have just been moving. And I know you actually shared with me that you were in touch with Rukaya's bookshelf, right? About the possibility of working to produce and publish the initial anthology. So do you want to share just a little bit about that in your lesson in that? Inshallah.
Yeah, so that kind of came out of the blue. It was not expected. But I, wrote a letter of inquiry, went through the whole like reading the whole process with that. And, despite getting rejected, it was such a good experience where now I've been through it once and now I'm not scared to go ahead and try again in the future. So alhamdulillah, it's you know.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So that's a major shift, right? That okay, Rukaya's bookshelf maybe didn't take me this time around, but inshallah I'll try again. So alhamdulillah. I'm gonna go to Amaan now. Now, Amaan, you built a pretty impressive YouTube following before this. Can you tell us why eventually you decided to step away from it? Inshallah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I can't really explain all of it in just like 30-ish seconds, but it does come to be that like getting my goal didn't actually fulfill me. And I realized that getting 100,000 was never what I wanted. And I wanted connection with people rather than online validation, right? And as well as that, it's just burnout. You don't get the passion anymore. You spend so many hours and hours editing, coordinating sponsorships, messaging people and whatnot, that it just gets exhausting, really. But, for some people it's different. I really I'm a big supporter of people that put themselves out there, but, it's different for everybody else.
Yeah, subhanAllah. And you had like 100,000 subscribers, right? At the point when you decided to walk away. And so that's it's pretty great to hear that you were like, I'm not fulfilled, so I'm stepping away from this. And so now, as you transition from your YouTube channel, now you're building something new, like we saw in the video. So tell us more about the Sensor app. You know, we saw the highlight in the video for passion projects. What inspired your idea? And how is it going so far?
Yeah, well, so obviously as a YouTuber, you got to look at the analytics, you got to look at the algorithm, you got to do research on how it works and see how you can improve each video after the other. And the more and more I looked in it, the more I realized how corrupt and evil the algorithm really is, right? There's a whole documentary I watched that was part of Find Your Qibla at the very start. I'm blanking on the name right now, but it's I'm not sure if Brother Hamza, you remember the
The
name.
Social Dilemma.
This,
Social Dilemma. That's a good if you watch that you get what I'm talking about. But they push a lot of bad and harmful content out there. And we can't control what pops up on our feed. It's based on like a lottery system where it's random. And I think every scroll is just uncertainty that you don't know what you're gonna see. Is it haram? Is it safe? And it's just guilt. So
yeah.
Censor, what it does is use AI to blur anything that will become or anything that's haram or sensitive to you or things that trigger you or in general. And it could be for parents that have want to make sure their kids are safe online, or just for someone trying to keep their faith intact and not look at any haram things. But yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Mashallah, mashallah. So rooted in your deen, which is what I really saw in our sessions, Amaan. Like everything for you, I know every project we talked about or any interest always circled back to your deen. So this is definitely, alhamdulillah, core to you. How has our entrepreneurship support from Five Before College helped with this journey of building your sensor app?
So, of course, started out as an idea sensor, and I never really could make that step. But I met with someone called Brother Saddam. He's part of Find Your Qibla, and you, and even Sister Asumini, you get tons of connections, and you get to network with people that can help you. Right? I talked to someone on the intricacies of how AI would work with the iOS limitations of third party this and that, all the technicalities, and I'm gonna connect with an imam from Boston just hopefully next week. And it's just
Wow.
so many opportunity and connection you get from the people inside Find Your Qibla. It's amazing.
Mashallah, mashallah. Thank you both, Wania and Amaan, for sharing your stories with us. All the themes of uncertainty, perfectionism, overthinking, but you both have walked through your journey and mashallah are impacting the ummah with everything that you're doing. And so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in everything that you're doing. And jazakallah khairan for your insights. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. MashaAllah. Great to have you both. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so now we are going to bring in the real engine behind all of the growth here. Namely, we wanted to hear from some parent voices. So we have Sister Juina and Sister Mona, mashallah, who are both uh, big supporters of 5 Before College. So maybe I'll start with you, Sister Juina. Could you maybe introduce yourself? When and how did you get to know about sort of 5 Before College and the work that we do?
Assalamualaikum. It was my son. Well, you could call it 5 Before College, but we really were like 1 before college. He finished his junior year, and it was the summer. He was about to apply for colleges, and I saw your advertisement, and I was like, we need help. I know that he took the right classes, but I just felt like we weren't focused, and we weren't sure how to go forward to make sure that he is successful in the college application process. So we did sign up the summer before his senior year.
Yeah, mashallah. So right, he joined Fund Your Qibla. yeah, like you said, we try to be five before college, but sometimes it is one before college, and alhamdulillah, obviously the sooner the better, but we can always support. So what? Tell us a little bit more about Osman's background. Like I'm always just amazed. It feels like he has two world-class talents, namely in chess and taekwondo. What are you guys doing in the Carter household, or the Cisse household that allows? Because I understand your younger son is also very talented in different areas. So what's the secret sauce here?
Well, thank you. Alhamdulillah. We homeschooled both of them and they started their passions early. He wasn't sure about like he loved chess. He did it on his own, but before Find Your Qibla, he didn't think that that would be enough to get you into college. I mean, we were thinking you have to cure cancer or do some big research or found a big company. And yes, he did well in school. He took the right classes and everything, but we did not have the well-rounded approach to see if that was enough before finding your Qibla. And Tariq, he's following his footsteps. We'll be signing him up this summer. So he'll actually do the whole five before five, and because he's coming out of eighth grade now.
That's great, mashallah. That's good. I hadn't heard that before. And one of the things I really appreciate is that you've been sort of the Pied Piper of five before college. Sacramento is like one of even the opposite side of the country from where I am. It's one of our biggest places where we get students from. So I really
Every
appreciate
opportunity that I get, I
yeah,
tell people, send
mashallah.
WhatsApp messages. Yeah, I'm sure that a couple of parents joined because of me, because I'm just always tooting your horn.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. May Allah reward you. And I know,
Mhm.
when he was in five before college, Osman created a tribe called Chess, which was a really cool passion project because, as he explained it, he used to travel all over the country for these chess tournaments and find very, very few students of color or
Very few.
minorities of any kind. And he wanted to change that, so he decided to start an after-school chess program to find other and inspire other Osmans, mashallah. Tell us
And
a
he's
little
still
bit
at it.
about the his sorry, you were saying what?
No, I mean he's still at it. Although he can't do it during the year because he's in school,
Hmm.
we were talking about him trying to form a summer camp so they
Hmm.
can still teach kids.
Amazing. Yeah. And that's such a good sign that it's a real passion project as opposed to like trying to airbrush your resume for college the
Yeah.
way so many kids do. The fact that now he's in college, he doesn't have any reason to do it except that he really wants to do it. So
Yes,
that's
yes.
great. Tell us just a little bit about his actual college application experience and where he is now.
Okay, so after your help, we formed a tripod test, and you also were very instrumental in his essay writing. You went through a lot of his essays. He built a compelling story. We stayed to California schools because we're located here. He applied to 7 schools. He got accepted to 6 out of 7 and waitlisted for one. He got into his dream school, Berkeley, so that's where he is now as a freshman. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Such a great story, and alhamdulillah, I got a chance to visit him there when I was in San Francisco last year. So alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. I'll turn over towards Sister Mona. Assalamu alaikum.
Right, Sam.
Great to see you. I think you're in New Mexico
You
now.
too. Yes, we are. We're
Not quite as
visiting
much
family.
snow as we have here. I
No
know.
snow at all since we
Yeah.
got here.
I know
We feel
you
like we're
you
like in the warm weather, 70s, 60s.
alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
So this event and this initiative to launch the scholarship is actually somewhat due to a comment that you or your husband made, that I wish we could, well, I'll let you maybe share what you said.
I was talking to Brother Patrick and I was saying how this initiative is so beneficial. We've seen so much growth in both our children. We registered 2 children to the Find Your Qibla cohort this Ramadan, and we just saw so much growth in both of them. We saw they were really enthusiastic, very motivated, and it was just such a great program. I was like, I wish we could be instrumental in helping to have more kids involved. Like, if we could be consistent donors to then have other kids who can afford it have the opportunity.
Mm.
So I did mention that to Brother Patrick. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, mashallah. Yeah, because we were, that you always are looking for sort of signals, and that was a signal that, subhanAllah, that maybe people would be out there who would want to support this type of initiative and so on. And I appreciate you doing that. Yeah, so could you talk a little bit more about Ismail and Aisha and their experience? I know they just finished Find Your Qibla. They've just started, or they're about to start Find Your Qibla Squared. But yeah, how was their experience during the programming? You mentioned growth. Like, could you give some examples or stories?
Yeah, so initially they were both a little bit reluctant. They were like, "Are you sure? Should we be doing this?" And I was like, "I think you'll really enjoy it. You'll be great." And once things started, like they started joining the calls and interacting with the other students and interacting with the counselors. And it got to the point where if one of them is on the call, they're calling the other sibling, "Hey, are you on yet? We got to get on the calls." Like they're both supporting each other through it, which I think was great that they both had each other. Um, they were also competing like with homework, like, "Did you finish the homework yet? What are you doing for it? I don't even know what to do, you know?" Things like that. Like it was like the whole family was hearing about it. The whole family was hearing like what they're struggling with, what they're trying to figure out, what they're working on. Like it became like a whole family thing in a sense that we're all like working together and seeing them progress. I saw like Ismail specifically, he struggles a little bit with his confidence. And I just saw so much growth in him that he feels a little bit stronger in his confidence. And I would like overhear him in calls, one-on-one calls with his counselor, Brother Patrick, and he would really be mentioning like how the dean is so important to him in whatever he's doing. And as a mother, sometimes you don't always hear that, you know. You get the bare minimum, you
Mm,
know. So hearing that well on the call, it was really reassuring like that that's such a important part of his life and everything that he wants to do. With Aisha, mashallah, she is very confident to start. But seeing her work with Sister Asumini, she took that confidence to another level.
mm,
She would like have ideas, but then with the support of Sister Asumini, she would push herself to then accomplish so much. She was planning out her weeks, she was planning out her days, planning out her meals, planning out her homework, and trying to add on a little bit of like extra activities. Like she wants to do calisthenics, she's working on that. She's making sure she's attending all her mixed martial arts and jujitsu classes. Like she's like, I have goals and I have to work hard to meet those goals.
mashallah.
And it was just so beautiful to see like they had that extra push that maybe us as parents and as a family were not able to give them.
Hmm.
And I feel like it was like a really good starting point, and we're so excited to see how much more can come from it going through the
Right.
program and FYQ squared, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, we can't wait. Yeah, I think that's what a lot of parents say, that having that sort of third party voice is really, really powerful. That a lot of times, especially the college process itself can be extremely stressful, and kids can be at loggerheads. My mom probably could have told you stories about my own college experience back in the day. But yeah, just having another perspective. And mashallah, both of your kids' passion projects are great. Aisha's launching a fashion brand for modest athletes who don't feel that their clothes that are stylish, that and modest. And Ismail's creating the Ummah Gaming League, sort of an esports league for Muslims and so on. And he's also roped my son in, so Abdullah and he they were in a Quran class together, and now they're doing entrepreneurship together. So
Yeah.
alhamdulillah. And I know his project, you were talking about him growing in confidence. Like one of the other boys in the program, I told you this, told his dad afterwards, I'm gonna leave my passion project and I want to join his because like it was just more his qibla than even the thing that he come up with. So, alhamdulillah, that's wonderful, alhamdulillah. And I see some more donations have come in. Sister Morjane is our hyper in the thing. We're gonna have like the sort of main fundraising session after our final speaker, which is Sister Alia. So inshallah we can start to bring her up. Thank you so much, Sister Mona and Sister Juina. Always such a pleasure to see you, and I hope we see you many, many more times, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah.
Alhamdulillah. And there she is, Alia.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum. Wa
alaikum.
alaikum assalam wa
How are
rahmatullahi wa
you?
barakatuh. I'm good,
Alhamdulillah.
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 Senior year, so
Yep. You got that periodic table of elements behind you. Yeah.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
I purchased that back in 8th grade and it's still with me, alhamdulillah.
Nice. Okay, good. So there is a 5 before college connection here because you were more like Osman. You were a 1 before college girl,
Yes,
right? Like,
definitely.
yeah. Tell us just where are you based? What are you up to? Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Of course. So, hi everybody. My name is Alia. I'm a senior and I'm based in New York City, currently in Queens. Yeah, and I was like very similar to Osman in the fact that we were a 1 before college thing. I saw an advertisement my mom actually did for Find Your Qibla in the summer or spring of my junior year as we're going into the college application process and whatnot. And we also felt kind of lost as opposed to like, how can I tie all of my different passions together, which I'll get to later. Um, and alhamdulillah, Find Your Qibla has really helped me, nail my personal statement on the head and even just understand a little bit more about myself and kind of what I want for my future career to even look like and what that looks like Islamically for me as well.
So you mentioned your personal statement. Uh, I know you worked on that during our college essay boot camp as well. And it
Yes.
had a pretty good hook, I thought. Can you
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I centered my Common App or my personal statement around my campaign video, which happened to be a parody rap song of Kendrick Lamar. And unfortunately, I did not win NHS president, which is what I was campaigning for. However, I think the video, like making the video, even producing it, like putting it out there, that whole process, I think has changed me like for the better and like was so instrumental to like who I am today, that I like wrote about it. Yeah, and I think it was just it's kind of cringy to rewatch it now, but I think I kind of have embraced the cringe over time.
Did you say there's another New Yorker who lost
Yes.
his first election
Yeah.
based on a failed rap video?
Yes. So, the high school that I go to, Bronx Science, in New York City, it's a specialized school, and coincidentally, our current mayor, Zohran Mamdani, also went to Bronx Science, fellow Wolverine, graduated in 2009, and campaigned for vice president by also doing a rap campaign video, which he lost his election to. But now he won his mayoral election, so I guess it works
All
out.
right, so that means we're gonna see you in the Oval Office, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
inshallah. Who knows?
Inshallah. Um, that's great, mashallah. And yeah, so you mentioned passions, and Hamda, I know a lot of them, but like mashallah, you have like talent like oozing out of so many different parts of you. You tell us
Wow.
about a few of the major things you've been involved in high school and how that set you up for the college process.
Yeah, so I mean when you all look at it like on paper, I think it doesn't really go together in like the like right off the bat. But a lot of the things that I do are kind of related to like journalism and storytelling. Right now, I'm a student reporter with PBS, which was recently, under attack by Trump and whatnot when it comes to funding. But working with PBS, I think, has like made me realize like what I want to do in the future, which is pairing science education with journalism, kind of allowing people to like understand like where their energy is coming from, and different solutions to like our energy crisis. And I think that passion of like nuclear energy and like physics and that kind of science comes from all the classes I take at school, AP Physics 1, AP Physics C, linear algebra and things like that. And even when it comes to helping people more specifically, working with a nonprofit in Astoria where we teach women self-defense, financial literacy, organizing, and things like that, has been so instrumental to like how I've grown to know my community in New York City. Um, Not only helping me practice my Arabic, things like that, but I think just also having a group of girls that I got to know over the past 2 years, even putting on a mayoral forum, during the election season to get Astorians, acquainted with their candidates and things like that, um, I think was just such a great experience, for me as well. But I think those two are pretty instrumental to how I've grown.
Mashallah. So what last thing, what advice would you give to people out there? Like why might they consider sort of donating to to this so that students, regardless of their where they happen to have been born and their parents bank accounts or whatever, can still have access to this type of one-on-one support.
Yeah, I think the scholarship initiative is just so necessary to provide our future Muslim Ummah with that opportunity to succeed in our like educational pursuit. I think like college applications are just impossible to navigate without any form of guidance nowadays. And when it comes to that, if we're leaving other people stranded just because of their financial barriers and things like that. I think it's quite frustrating even for the kid who has that drive, who has that passion, um, to be turned away for that reason. And, find your qibla, find five before college, taking that issue on itself, by fundraising for this cause, I think is so amazing in that I think everybody in the Ummah like has that opportunity to get into like their dream school or to like push beyond, generational barriers and things like that.
Mashallah, mashallah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Alia. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
thank you.
So we have reached that part in the program where we do like the actual like fundraising, I guess. Alhamdulillah, we really here is the Deo Volante, which I shared in the chat. This was Wanya's project. But in any case, this is where we try to actually raise this number a bit. I After I called my mom, I was thinking about who else I could call to support, because ultimately, these types of fundraisers are best done not so much in a group setting like this, but in one-to-one talking to people and so on. And so the brother who ultimately gave me my shahada, who helped me find Islam, alhamdulillah, his name is Nabil. He has done well in his life. We were at Harvard together, and then instead of going towards education like me, he decided he went to Stanford Business School, and now he's alhamdulillah, part of his family's business and has done very well. So he felt like a good person to talk to, and I reached out to him, and after some discussion, he did something amazing, and he decided to make a $10,000 matching gift. So in other words, he will match us dollar for dollar for the first $10,000 that we raise. But in order to unlock that gift, we need to get to $10,000 ourselves. So I'm really not very good at this. I get the sense from the chat that Sister Morjane might be better at this. If any of you have been to Muslim fundraisers before, usually there is an imam who says something like, "Okay, lock the doors. No one is leaving until we hit this number." Um, It's a little harder to do on Zoom, and it's also not really my my style. But this is the you've seen the goods, hopefully. Like you've seen the kids who we're supporting. We're not highlighting who's on scholarship and who's not on scholarship, right? But you know, many of the students in our program are, and they get the exact same support no matter what, and that's something we're committed to, and we want to figure out a way to make it work. And one of the ways is, is likely going to be through some level of fundraising. And my vision is to create something called the Five Before Five Foundation, which would not support just Five Before College, but which would support the causes that are truly near and dear to my heart, and especially in the Islamic education and Islamic schools world, because that's where I spent so much of my career. So that is a vision. What we've discovered in the short term is that running a foundation is a huge work, and so we decided to do this as sort of an experiment to see whether it works. So essentially, we have different giving levels here. So at the very top, the one that Nabil has already gotten, we have the Waqf Builders Circle. Right, so the Waqf Builders Circle, the Waqf is something that endows mosques and and universities and libraries and so on. So at this level, you're building really the infrastructure and so on. So in order to claim Nabil's Waqf Builders Circle, we do need to have some donations come in. So typically at this point, the Imam stops and says, "Okay, so who is ready to give $10,000?" There's not a lot of you here, I'll be honest. It's not as big as some of our other events. And I'm probably not as good a fundraiser as some others, but if there are any families that are able to give it this amount, even if you want to do it more privately or directly through a check or something like that, then please let us know, because it would really those big donations make a huge difference. Next we have the Al Qarawayin Circle, right? So Qarawayin is the oldest, longest running university that we have in the Muslim world, right? And it was founded by Fatima Fihri, who's up here. Where is she? Here. The sponsor seat one, right? So the Fatima Fihri is the one who founded Qarawayin. And so the Qarawayin is at the university level. The Fatima Fihri that's the average gift that we give to students, $2,119. Right? $2,119 is the average when we look at all of our financials, and we don't include things like sibling discounts and other things. We're talking about pure financial aid, right? And every single dollar that comes to this goes directly to those scholarships. This is not to cover overhead, not to cover advertising and things like that. It just goes to make sure that all these students, like the ones that you saw today, no matter where they're from, that they get access to the same thing, right? So obviously we can see, in order to have more Fatima Fihris out there, we need people to donate. So inshallah, Sister Morjane, I think I get the sense that you might be a better fundraiser than me. So can I let you speak a little bit? Bismillah.
Bismillah. Definitely, I've emceed a lot of events growing up in the WIC, Worcester Islamic community. I'm situated in Shrewsbury, so Worcester is about 5 minutes away, and so yeah, I definitely am familiar with being up here. This is my first type of fundraiser as well. Subhanallah, I was telling one of my other colleagues, I'm like, I feel like I'm selling myself on this. I'm holding back from donating, because as an educator, like Brother Hamzah's mom, beautifully put, is that really I believe in our youth. One of the things that is so beautiful and powerful to me is meeting all of you parents, as well as the students, and just seeing how, much parents and Muslim families around the country are investing in their kids, and how beautiful these future leaders are turning out to be. There are times where I will turn back to my parents, to my own husband, and I'll have tears in my eyes and say, "Oh my goodness, I met the most wonderful people today. I must met the most beautiful students today." And it really goes to show what an amazing, beautiful, strong ummah we have. And so working with these students is not only an honor and a privilege, but it also is really heartbreaking when, we find some great families with some beautiful, students who just, quite frankly can't, make it. Not even after, the partial final aid, financial aid that we give them. So, in this beautiful month of Ramadan, that is known for its generosity, we told ourselves we really want to fundraise for them because we do not want to turn a student away. Ever. But at the same time, we still want to be able to, meet the business demands, if you will. So, like I had posted in the chat, mashallah, tabarakallah, my grandmother, my great grandmother, who, alhamdulillah, mashallah, tabarakallah, she's still alive and full of life, will say like anytime something bad happens to us, or anytime that we need barakah in our lives, the first thing that our great grandmother says is like, give sadaqah, give sadaqah. My great grandmother is a big, giver, and may it be her wealth, may it be her time. And subhanallah, the amount of barakah and blessing that she has, it's like she has like a, 5G, LTE, Amazon Prime connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Her du'as, my goodness, get, accepted right away. Because one of the things that she has become famously known about in our family is that she's a big, charity giver. And for me, that is a tradition that I definitely and my husband uphold, is that the more you give, the more you get. And so, mashallah, this is not there is not a better initiative than helping the education of another Muslim teenager. I definitely want to see some bigger donations come in. I want to see somebody match, Sister Tyler, or Brother Hamzah's mother. I want to see that 1K come in. I want to see that 5K come in. So, metaphorically, we are closing the doors. Let's close the doors. We need folks to come in big here, inshallah, so that we can really help these kids in amazing ways. I think we talked about it. A lot of youth shared it. It's those consistent steps, or that consistent accountability from coaches to get students to really take ownership of their future. In many ways, I view myself as like somewhat of a teammate on a parent on a parent's team. Like as an educator, I always said, like, at school, I'm a substitute parent for a lot of these kids, and I treat them like my own. Here in this coaching program, I really feel like with parents, we are a team getting to challenge and push these kids to get the best out of them every single time we meet. So it's through that consistent accountability that students are really able to take their future into their own hands, and not just let their potential waste, doom scrolling, and just sitting there and not really nurturing their goals and nurturing their potential and their interests and passions. So really, mashallah, tabarakallah, we count on all of you. Mashallah, takbir, Allahu Akbar. We just got another 150. I didn't make note of that, so that's beautiful. We also have, mashallah, tabarakallah, our content creator, Mr. Shaked Up, having donated something as well. Mashallah, he's a student, and he is donating, because just like I said earlier, myself as a coach, I am holding myself back from not donating to give a chance to others, as not only is this a mission I wholeheartedly devote myself to and really enormously love. But oh my goodness, look at that. Takbir, Allahu Akbar, Ya Rab, Ya Kareem.
Figured someone had to do it.
Brother Hamzah, like he said, putting my money where my mouth is. That is absolutely amazing. I was talking to some colleagues and we were both talking about like, should we donate now? Should we wait till the end of the event? But mashallah, tabarakallah, there is our leader himself, Brother Hamzah, believing in the mission, and giving these kids the best resources we can give them to really propel them to success in this dunya wal akhirah. I want to see another one here going up. I want to see a big fish here. Go ahead, Brother Hamzah.
So yeah, I think one other thing that I'd say is we don't have a huge room here, right? Ultimately, it's all about sort of the room size. Like, and some of the people here, we don't have as many people. Like I said, when we do our normal events, we get 300, 500. We did a Zaytuna event, we had over 800 people register. For this one, it was quite a bit lower. There were a little over 100 and about 50% show up rate, which is an amazing show up rate in the world. But we just don't have as many people here. But all of you know people, right? All of you know people who are out there who might not know about us, right? And so if I'm just gonna pull the page up again. When you are on this page, you can share. You go here to share, and it creates a custom link just for you, right? It creates a custom link just for you. And then when you share that, then we're able to see, or you're able to see actually, LaunchGood will tell you that someone who you shared the link with gave to a campaign that you did. So first of all, it doesn't matter how big your donation is, right? So like I saw a $1 donation, $10 donation. That is absolutely fine, right? LaunchGood has daily contests, right? So they have daily contests based on how many people are giving and so on. I don't know if I can get there. Let's see. LaunchGood, they try to gamify this whole fundraising world, and it's a really cool company founded by a very good friend of mine. So they have a daily contest. So the most raised in a day, the person who gets to the top there gets an additional $5,000. So if we were able to get to $10,000, so I could get Nabil to give that $10,000, then we'd be currently in third place, which would be pretty cool because that's an additional $2,500. But then over here, this one's in some ways even more meaningful and where we need the most work. Look at the number of supporters they've gotten. 1,583 supporters, 271 supporters. So one thing we're going to be doing, because this campaign is not just for today, this is a Ramadan campaign, is we're going to be trying to have our Find Your Qibla students compete in trying to get donations for this cause, right? Because who can be a better spokesman than them? But all of you, like the parents who are in the room and other people, like please go to the page, right? It's been shared a bunch of times. And then click that share link and send it to your friends. We will send out this video, and so on. We'll send out the video and whatnot. And then if you are able to give even a small amount, right? Even a small amount. Where's the live page? Here we go. Right? If you're even able to give these $10, $20, right, amounts, like I said, my daughter was the first donor, right? She's 17 and she has a Duncan habit and other things that are competing, but she sees the value. So inshallah, jazakallah khair, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Anything else, Sister Morjane?
I mean, I think that's amazing. I think now that Brother Hamzah has shared that, I myself have gone to subscribe I have gone to also, share this information with my closest family members. I just right now, I shared it to some of my closest family group chats. I have a plethora of them, so that we can get not only ourselves personally get the barakah from donating, but also we give the barakah to these very well, students that definitely need it. Some of them, of which we're talking today, are on financial aid. So you see how immense the potential is and how much they love the program. And so we, like the slogan here says, we never want to turn away a student and we want to keep it that way. So please, at the very least, subscribe, and share it with some of your WhatsApp family group chats and a plethora of other groups, as well. And that will, I would say, is like definitely a big ticket.
Yeah, the biggest thing is one-on-one outreach, right? Like, and I honestly haven't done as much. I'm clearly gonna have to do a lot more in order to unlock some good donations. But the one-on-one outreach makes a huge difference. Ooh, nice, mashallah. We got another donation just now. Takbir. Alhamdulillah. Allah reward you. I, one of the things that is amazing is a lot of the students who have come on significant financial aid, even in pure dollar terms, it's been a very good decision because they do often become our biggest supporters, right? And and so there's khair and barakah in supporting people. Other communities do this. This is the reality that like the Jewish community is very, mashallah, very good at taking care of their own. They have institutions, the Hillel and other things to make sure that their community, their tribe is taken care of. And here in the Muslim world, even though we are a community of 2 billion, we really don't have that same infrastructure in place. And really, we're trying to close that. We have a bigger vision than just 5 before college, right? It's not enough to just get into college. We need 5 during college, 5 after college, right? We really want to create the world's best premier mentorship program to take kids from middle school all the way up to marriage, right? And all the little peaks and valleys along the way of going to college. It's one thing to get into college, it's another thing to get the most out of your investment there. And then once you graduate and you actually have to transfer into the real world, right? That's one of the most difficult places to be as well. So we really, there are different ways to give. You can give of your, there's the 3 T's. There's your treasure, which we're going for right now, your time, right, which is incredibly valuable, or your testimony. Right? And that's what the students today were doing. They were giving their time, but their testimony. And that's what we'd ask of all of you as well. That if giving to this is not something that's within your budget, if you're maxed out with your Ramadan sadaqah and so on, then khalas, we understand that, right? But please give in those other ways, through your time, through your testimony, trying to let other people know about the work we do here. And I know one person in the chat was asking about actually applying to Find Your Qibla and like joining the program. So I had dropped that link in earlier. I don't know. I'll do that one time here. That's the actual program. We do have a cohort starting a couple weeks after Ramadan. April 12th is our next cohort of Find Your Qibla. Hamzah, we're already more than half full. We haven't started pushing that one too aggressively yet either. So if you know people who might like to actually be a part of our program, then please get that word out as well, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Any last words, Sister Morjane?
No, mashallah, I think you beautifully put it.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, I'm going to open the collective doors. I don't know what's going to happen with this $10,000 matching gift. I guess I'm gonna have to hit the phones and try to make some calls, but I'd really appreciate it if you guys do the same, so that we can really try to get to that $10,000 level, which was essentially be $20,000, right? Which would start to make a tangible difference. That's almost 10 students who otherwise might not have been able to do it. And I know, like we really want people to do it. Will there be a program beginning in the summer? Yes, inshallah. We'll have another program starting up in early July, inshallah. The spring is the one we're currently working towards, but yeah, if you're interested in the summer, please reach out as well, inshallah. Okay, jazakallahu khair. I will finish with a quick du'a. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. يا الله يا أول الأولين يا آخر الآخرين يا ذا القوة المتين يا راحم المساكين يا أرحم الراحمين. Ya Allah, please accept all the donors, Ya Allah, everyone who gave, whether it was of their time or their treasure or their testimony, Ya Allah, you reward them, Ya Allah, in this world and you reward them in the next, Ya Allah. You please give this company khair and barakah, Ya Allah, and allow us to continue doing this work that we do, Ya Allah. You be pleased with it, Ya Allah. Any mistakes that we make, you redirect us, Ya Allah, and help us to serve this mission more, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, please do not prevent people who need this sort of support, who could benefit so much from this coaching, the very thing that they were missing when they were that age, Ya Allah. You please make it easy for them, Ya Allah. You please make it easy for them to access this coaching, no matter who they are and where they're from, Ya Allah. You please make this coaching available and affordable to them. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. Jazakallahu khair, everyone. Inshallah, we will definitely get this recording out. Maybe cut some of those great student stories into reels and get them out, inshallah. And we really appreciate having all of you here today. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.